Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our 56th weekly call. I don't know how to pronounce this. Chow Dupin. I am your host, Jen McEwen. And with us are, you know their faces, Christopher O'Connell. What's up, Chris? And all the way from Vietnam, Jesse.
Hey, guys. Good to see
guys.
you. Hello. Hello, hi, compliments. Hello. 3 handshakes. Let's go. Yeah, Spaceman was early today. Awesome.
Yeah, it's good to see the familiar faces or names in the chat. Hey, Sasha, good to see you again. Chris and Jesse, also great to see you. How you guys doing?
I'm good. Oh, three sunglasses. I actually am wearing my infamous heart ones in Vietnam. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Chris, you're still on mute, sir.
Oh, there we go. Jen, you're dressed up very nicely this week.
Well, I don't have a lot of Vietnamese stuff with me. So I had this kind of like maybe a cute little collar, but I have my little Buddha. My grandmother and aunt lived in Vietnam for a long time. So they actually have a lot of stuff from Vietnam, but it's just at my mom's. So this is the only thing I have with me. We have this cool like hat that like the triangle hat, and you put it against the light. You could see a scene of rice paddies, and it says McEwen in the sky. It's super cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that is cool.
I know. Nice. We got a lot of stuff in Vietnam, but it's with my mom.
As a white guy, I'm wearing exactly what I would wear in Vietnam, which is a golf shirt, and wishing it was one layer thinner to deal with the heat. But
Chris, I thought you'd be wearing like a Hawaiian shirt when you travel to Vietnam. A Hawaiian shirt and sandals as a white guy.
Well, yeah, I know there's a lot of white guys who wear Hawaiian shirts in Southeast Asia, but let me tell you something about Hawaiian shirts. They're made out of silk, and it gets sticky when you get sweaty and when you spill beer on it. Golf shirts are made out of like magical tech fabric. They're designed for the golf course where you spill beer on them and then they dry instantly and they don't get sticky. So it's perfect for Southeast Asia too.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I am constantly sticky here. Yeah. I don't even shake people's hands. I don't shake people's hands because it's gross. I just dap it, Because yeah.
You're like, I'm just
like, hey, it's like I'm doing you a favor right now. Don't shake my hand. Just I'll give you a dap.
Yeah. You don't want the sweaty handshake. Just like put it right there, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how's your guys' week so far?
Well, I got here just a couple of days ago, so I lose a day traveling here because from Seattle to Vietnam is 20-hour travel. But so far so good. Like Salana Summit, Vietnam, Super Team Vietnam is awesome, super hospitable. First time in Vietnam, so I'm just loving that. Just for personal, it's awesome. We went to a Salana Deep dinner today. I'll talk about that a little more later. But yeah, it's been good. Been a good week.
Yeah, Chris, you're looking more alive this week.
Yeah, you over your jet lag?
I am way more alive this week. It's funny that the whole jet lag thing. Jesse obviously is on his prime game right these days because he is traveling the world. He's landing. He's doing fine. I do one trip and I'm hurting pretty bad, but no, I'm doing good. It's been a really incredibly productive week being over here with the team. We've gotten a lot done. I will say though, Jesse, you did make one travel mistake, if I'm honest. Yes. Like, I may have made the mistake of not having the fortitude to bounce right back from it, but you made the mistake of crossing the date line going the wrong way. So you gave up a day of your life, right? You lost a day. So everybody, if you guys, Jesse's a day older and he didn't get to enjoy that day. So if you guys think Jesse's not willing to sacrifice for this project, you got to understand. I try to only cross the date line going the other way so that I get a free day back. My life, I get an extra day to enjoy. But you, sir, you sacrificed a day, and
you actually did that. You actually did that once for your birthday, where if you travel the right way, you can celebrate your birthday in like 4 different cities.
Yeah, so I did for my 30th birthday. I did 30 hours of drinking for my 30th birthday. Start in Tokyo, work your way almost up, take it just before midnight flight, cross the date line, reset things, and land back in LA and time to go out drinking again on your birthday. Again,
right? Every time. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Not every time. My liver can only take so much, but I have done that once.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. I don't think I could do anything like that. Well, I know I can't because you asked if I wanted to go, and I was like, "Fuck no." I don't plan on staying on a plane for 30 hours.
You also know the hard drinkers that I went with, so I had a hard time keeping up with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse's sacrifice shall be known as UpRock Day.
Increase too. What's that? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Jesse's sacrifice shall be known as UpRock Day, and yes, we got the buyback and burn wallet. We happy to say we had a little more revenue, so we upped our buyback and burn as
increasing as we said.
And as you know, the whole beginning of the month thing, we got one day the whole crypto space around recurring transactions will get better and easier. For now, there are several annoying manual steps in that process that we have to do periodically. So sorry there's a few hours I think where it wasn't running, but we got it back and we're averaging out all the difference over the next however many days anyway.
Well, before we get into it, I got a little story for you guys. I don't know if you see it. Well, you guys already saw some pictures, but I was having dinner, having a salad, being good to myself, and inside of a restaurant at the bar, so it's like deep in the restaurant, a freaking mosquito comes in and beelines for my eye, and you can't see it because the power of lighting and makeup, but I've had like this huge, I've had a vegan filler under my eye. It's been so puffy. You can't see it now. I can actually see my underlid now. Constantly for the last like 2 days.
It's constantly bothering you. Yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty impressed. You can't see it. You couldn't see it earlier. Okay.
Yeah, and your outfit looks great. This is definitely a good Vietnam outfit. You know. Vietnam week. Looks good. Yeah. The flower print. I saw a lot of people today wearing a flower print dress with the collar like that. That's awesome.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Hey, we love you too. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's get into it. Let's see. It's our 56th call.
Yeah.
56 weeks. That's crazy. And as you can see from the banter earlier, our banter, it is Vietnam week. And you can see from the flag and the hashtag, which I will not be able to pronounce, so I'm not going to try anymore. So Vietnam week, and we'll talk a bit more about Vietnam and why it is Vietnam week. On our agenda, we thought it might be nice to do a little UpRock one-on-one for new people who are tuning in and new users. We'll talk about Vietnam week. We have some stats on our country week, Salana Summit, APAC, and a new partnership with Rome and Prism update. And then we'll get out of here so that Jesse can take I guess midnight for you, right? So you can go to sleep and hit the shows early.
Yeah, I'm good.
That's definitely what he's going to do, right? Go to sleep and get up early. We're all believing that? Okay.
Okay. Well, first off, let's do some UpRock one-on-one. I mean, I guess, Jesse, you've been doing this a lot since you've been traveling the world, and you're getting, hey, what's UpRock?
What's up, Rock? Yeah, so today was we had an event called House of DePIN. And for folks that are not familiar with that term, it means decentralized physical infrastructure. Like, it's a mouthful, but it's like, at the end of the day, I think it's a too technical term. It's really community powered network. I think I like that a lot, but in the crypto space, we call it DePIN. We're building the world's best data reward program. And really, this AI driven internet that's coming, it needs real-time data. Data is new oil. DePIN is the fire hose, and AI can turn that fire hose into gold. And how it's working today is AI needs compute and data, and how do you be a part of that world actually? Well, we make it really, really simple. Under 2 minutes, you can install an app, and part of it actually make some passive income, helping fuel this future that's coming, and actually be a part of the data gold mine that's happening. And so I love that. I think the message resonates because it's a humanity first kind of AI driven internet. It's a humanity first internet. It's AI may know the knowledge of the current history of human knowledge, but it's blind, and it's blind without DePIN. It really helps AI see what's happening in the real world, and that's why it's so valuable. And this is why we can actually all earning some passive revenue with this. So we spoke about that a little bit. We talked about our decentralized our real time web tools today. I did a demo of the Uptime product we did, our web scraper for AI. I talked a little about the load testing and stress testing. And so, it was a lot of fun actually. And it was, we had like 15 other DePIN projects did a roundtable and did a presentation, and a lot of good partners were there as well. And so it was just always good to just do it in person and talk to these people. So yeah, that's what it was about. Yeah.
Yeah, right. UpRock is the bridge from Web 2 to Web 3, and we're getting like onboarding about over 10,000 new people, new Web 2 users join UpRock every week, and that's without ad spend. It's the community doing a lot of hard work there. We do a lot of we have just a lot of great folks. Like you see them in the chat every week. You see them on X every week. You see them on Discord. Actually, let me share the post with you guys on X. I'll put it in the chat for everyone.
Okay.
Here we go. We just have a tweet about it. You can follow us on X if you're not there already. It's x.com/uprock.com. But yeah, we're building the world's largest mobile first DPIN and the world's best rewards program for users, for Web 2 users, onboarding the next billion users to Web 3.
Yeah. I think people don't realize how fast AI is moving. That's the one thing I always get when I come to these shows. It's moving so fast, and everyone uses ChatGPT, but those are all reactive. You have to ask something to do. It's mostly just chatbots, right? You ask something and it gives you a prompt back. Very soon, you're going to be able to task your AI agent to do something for you without you having to always ask for it. So, it's automated tasks. Grok just announced that. ChatGPT just announced that. In order for all your AI agents to do this, it needs to be able to crawl the internet in real time to be real-time relevant. Actually tell you what's happening in the real world, because it knows what's happened from today and beyond in the past. But for you to actually know what's happening, give you useful advice about what's happening in the real world, it needs to be able to crawl the internet in real time, because we're always sharing stuff online.
Yeah, so
this is so important. Like, I don't think people understand that is so hard to do today. And AI makes cost of content creation down to zero. So there's going to be so much noise, so much data is going to be produced, so much of the internet is already bots. And us humans cannot really discern and digest it all and make sense of the world and understand which stories we should pay attention to, and how do we actually take so much data and actually do something useful with it. Because you still want to be able to know, like, what do humans think about this news story, about this product or this trend or whatever you care about. So you need to be able to get all these signals from around the world. So because it's not static websites anymore. Everyone sees something different based on your IP, based on your location, even the same URL. We all actually might see something different now, especially with AI. It's going to be optimized for everybody. We're going to all see something different. Everything's going to be so dynamic. I don't think people understand how much that's happening with the internet. And so with that huge world happening, you need AI to be able to get different points of view from that location, teleport to different devices through our UpRock network, feed that into AI model, and then actually with the AI power, give you some real actually useful insights so you can make sense of the world, because humans thrive on stories. We need to be able to tell ourselves a good story and make a good decision, whether it's based on something you want to buy, based on some job offer you want to look for, some deal you're looking for, or a news story. And yeah, so I think that was one of the things it's really interesting when I do these talks, is how much of that part people don't realize how much is changing the internet. Yeah. Anyway,
so
what were you gonna say?
I saw something really interesting about this today. There was a great a post that somebody put up on Hacker News where they'd done a bunch of analysis of like the core prompts for the most recent version of the Claude model, which is Anthropic's flagship AI model. The most recent version is 4.0, and 3.7 came out a couple months ago, and 3.7 was excellent, by the way. But one of the things they noticed, one of the big changes between the versions, is as it has gone on, Anthropic has progressively, and this is the base prompt, this is what's sort of always injected in there to kind of just make the model work the way they want it to work. They have moved progressively more and more towards telling it to search. So in 3.7, it said, hey, you should answer the user from what you know. But if I'm paraphrasing here, you guys can go look up the article. It was on Hacker News today if you want. But to paraphrase here, it was like, in 3.7, it was like, if you think that the user is asking about something that's extremely time sensitive or like time dependent, then you might offer to do a search. And now in 4.0, it says you should answer from your knowledge only for stable and unchanging information. In all other cases, do a search. which is obviously a significant shift towards accessing information on the internet, pulling this information much more often. And I'm sure that as they're making these changes to the prompts, they're seeing the exact sort of things we're seeing when we use them, which is the AI models are excellent. And saying that they need access to real-time data doesn't take away from how truly excellent they are. But just like when I'm in an argument with somebody over a beer, what do? Like we're arguing about some sports thing. Well, if it's Jesse, I'm just obviously right because sports. But we're just arguing about whatever. Like we immediately reach for our phones to settle the debate because we're going to need access to more specific, relevant, real-time information. And it's exactly the same thing we do when we're working with AI models, which is we tell them, hey, use this tool, load these pages, do these searches, and so on. And so we're already seeing the big model providers are starting to make that change and actually encouraging the models to do that more often. And of course they are, because they're going to have to. So,
exactly. So, and so whether it's citizen journalism or using AI to build your own websites, it's going to be a blend of the real-time content. It's going to get so crazy because people are going to want to share it's going to be what you're sharing in real life, which could be pictures, videos, or text, because you're reacting to something that happened in real life, and you also react to something that happened on the internet. So you might react to a product launch in real life or a news event or something. Then you share it with a picture, video, or just text describing it, and then you might use an AI agent to refine it, and then that AI agent might do more of it to share it. And so it's just going to be so much content, so much data, and today, to be able to just access all those things, all those places where you're going to share, it's like the bridge or the glue to actually have an AI agent crawl all those sites, all those public free sites, is not there today, and you cannot do that. And this is why it's I think this is the biggest misconception when we talk to people about an AI model. Like, because it's happening so quickly. Like you said, all these agents are crawling the internet. But if you check, even if you do Grok and you say deep research, it's maybe crawling 15 sites max. Has it ever done more than 15? I've never seen do it more than 15. But in the future, where AI is going to help generate so much content, you're going to want to crawl 1,000 sites to really actually give you something useful. You cannot do that today without having issues. But also, even without the blocking issues, you really want to know what are people seeing in specific locations, because this is so important, because everyone's going to be seeing something different now. It's going to be highly personalized internet based on where you're actually located and other factors.
Yeah, I was having an argument with somebody else on the team the other day, and I had our crawling network load some pages from 65,000 locations because that was the only way that I could definitely prove that I was right.
It's going to be a godsend for us.
Oh, and by the way, that it worked pretty well.
Yeah.
So most importantly, I was right, of course. But so I don't know about 1,000, Jesse. 65,000. That's the number you're looking for, or more.
Yeah. Just because we're talking about AI, what someone shared internally, I don't know, folks who are listening in, is a bit of a tangent, but Builder.ai, the news about Builder.ai. There's this huge.
Was that the one that was fake it till you make it a little bit far?
Yes. So for folks who don't know, Builder.ai or Builder.io, not Builder.ai. That's right. It is a neural network. And they had a valuation of 1.5 billion. They raised, I think, 455 million, led by Microsoft. They've been around for 8 years. They just had to shutter their doors because it turns out there's no AI. It's just 700 engineers in India.
Yeah, pretty good hustle, actually, to be honest with you. Yeah, they did take the thing.
Is that real news? I saw something about that, and I thought, no, this has to be a joke.
I saw that on Dextero, and then saw something on Bloomberg.
Then it's probably real. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Here it is on Dextero. Yeah, reported by Binance.
Here's my take on that. Anyone has started a startup, you have to a little bit fake it till you make it. But this case is a little crazier because they raised $1 billion, so or whatever they raised.
They raised 455 million.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit more than fake it till you make it. It's a little bit. I don't know. But
this is coming on.
Well,
to,
this is. I mean, this is the. You know, Amazon. Look, Amazon called their human in the loop product years ago. Amazon called their human in the loop product Mechanical Turk, right? Because the famous chess playing. There was literally this guy who would. I think this was in the 1700s. Was touring around Europe with what was supposedly a mechanical chess playing statue. It's probably before the word computer was commonly used, but a chess playing AI. And it turned out it was literally just a guy stuffed inside a box who was, you know, manipulating this cool Turkish dressed robot. Anyway, that is a part of AI. But I think what's clear is, you know, it's interesting that company's a little bit older, because I think 5 years ago, even, it was much more accepted that, like, okay, if you're an AI startup, you are in fact going to hire a huge team of cheap labor and have them sort of be the AI right up until, you know, there's some magical breakthrough and the AI works. And the answer is, guys, there was a magical breakthrough. The AI does work. You need to transition away from the giant team model now.
Yep.
And because I'm a tangent, speaking of chess, congratulations to the new chess winner, top chess champion, a guy from India. Speaking of India, Gukesh, I'm saying his name wrong, Dumaraju, just beat out Magnus Carlsen. So a lot of great stuff happening in India.
Yeah.
And what was some of the jokes on this? It was AI stands for all Indians, or actually Indians when it comes to Builder.ai. Also, poor Builder.io. If you see Builder.io on X, or look them up, it's a totally different company. They want people to know that we are not Builder.ai.
Ooh, that's an unfortunate confusion. Now that people are starting to use these short 2-letter domain names for stuff. Yeah, you have the confusion. .ai, .io, .sh.
Yeah.
That's what did we always say? Like, why do we go for .coms and not other things? because .nets are for netbeards.
Neckbeards, and now the new thing is netbeards.
Yeah, I know what I said.
Yeah,
I know what I said.
That.
I used to phrase that a little bit differently with some off-color language, and then halfway through starting to tell the joke, I realized I had to save it really fast. So I feel like I did pretty good.
You did good.
Yeah, I saw a show that said, "I'm sorry, you have a .net," but I mean, I've had .nets too. So who am I? I even had a movie. So
have I, but I have a beard, so it's okay.
Yeah, I shave it. Okay, well, let's move on, guys. Let's see what do we got here. So speaking of, I got a little ahead of myself. Country weeks, all these great contributors about, you know, the need for getting all this data from around the world. We have so many. We're in our DPIN network, 195 countries and counting, depending on how you count a country, or on contributors around contributing to our DPIN. And so every week we like to, for the past month or so, or a couple months, we like to highlight a country. And that country, people in that country for that week will double their earnings for contributing to the DPIN.
Wait, we've had 8 country weeks already?
We've had 8. Actually, yes. Yeah. So it's been a couple months. That went by really fast.
I don't remember all of these. It's
actually been a lot of fun to do this whole campaign, because it's really fun to see everyone actually hop on and say I'm in and plug in, and also we've been timing it with some of these events, so it's great. It's what makes a crypto community fun, because it is global day one. You know.
Yes, absolutely.
And I get to meet, you know, a lot of folks just have been using UpRock since the beginning, in every country so far I've been to. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Including Vietnam. So
we started with India because we have so many great folks in India. We love India, and we started because you were actually in Bengaluru for Salana Summit, or Salana. It was a one-day event in India, Jess. So that's where we started. Also, by the way, Bengaluru, congratulations on the cricket win. RCB won championships, so congratulations. And we also we introduced him last week. Chandan is our new country ambassador for India. So that's where we started. I think it was a great place to start. He's now in charge of onboarding 700 million mobile users. No small.
He'll get it done in a week. But you knock out cricket win stats. Now I know you're using AI and the UpRock crawler to get that kind of information.
Yeah, dog food. Dog food the product, man. Now we went over to Japan. It's fun. We had Roz was actually in Japan for that week. Moved over to Brazil and Nigeria. This is, oh my gosh, I am so bad with my turkey. Oh, I was just there. Oh, so sorry, guys. I wish that this wasn't live so we could edit that part out, but it's not. Okay. UAE.
Yes,
and then
good.
Yes, I got it. It's the hamster's on the wheel. She's just, she's still stretching, but she's getting up there. Then Spain, then the Philippines, USA, and then last week was France. And last week we also had on the stream Will, who is our French ambassador. So that was really good to have him there. And so far in these past, I guess it's been 10 weeks, we have distributed over 165,000 UPT for people who are doubling their earnings in those countries for those weeks. So Breika asked, when Romania? I mean, I feel like that's gotta be pretty soon. I don't know what Roz and the team's got for the next week. What's in the queue? But
when Palinka.
Yeah.
It's always time for Palinka. Anyway, so on that note, this week from June 2nd through June 9th, anyone in Vietnam will get double their earnings for contributing. All you got to do is open the app. You'll see a little thing that says I'm in. If you're in Vietnam, you don't even know if you have to press that, but you're just in Vietnam. You just got your double earnings. There's not much you need to do.
I announced that today at the demo, so that was good. Great.
Yeah, go Vietnam. Let's see.
Let's go.
I would also like to see maybe eventually we start doing like a leaderboard for the countries, like who's doing more. Who's winning this, the leaderboard. I mean, I guess that doesn't really work because countries are. Yeah. Maybe we could do it like we could do.
Let's do player pump player. Not player, not PvP.
That's true.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So the reason why Vietnam is because Jesse is there, and you are there for the Salana Summit in Da Nang. I pronounce it so. I know I'm pronouncing this wrong.
No, you're fine. Da
Nang, right? I second guess myself. So you are there for Da Nang for the Salana Summit, the DPIN APAC Summit, and House of DPINs. So tell us all about it, all the hot, sticky stuff, because I know it's hot and sticky over there.
It's 90 degrees, always on a perpetual thunderstorm, but it's actually been beautiful. So the Solana Summit's amazing. It has the same kind of energy as the Bangalore Summit and also the Istanbul. A lot of focus on DPIN, a little bit II. I was at the House of DPINs today. It was about 15 different companies you have to present to the community here in Vietnam. Super Team Vietnam is amazing. They're super hospitable. We had a VIP dinner with all the founders. That was great. And then on Saturday, I also have a panel with GeoNet and a couple of partners, and also at the Salana Summit. So it's in Vietnam, but it's APAC. So actually a lot of represented from different companies around Asia. So Korea, a lot of companies from Korea, Japan, China, Vietnam, and then there's also companies from the West here, but it's an APAC event. So yeah, it's pretty good. And there's obviously a big tech scene here in Da Nang. And so got to meet a lot of people here. So I think they were saying a couple of years ago, it was just getting started, but this year really is, I feel like it feels like a lot of people around. John, the head of engineering at Salana Foundation, I just saw him about a couple hours ago. He's here too. So so Salana representing, and it's pretty great. Yeah. Oh, Chandan's in the chat room. Let's go.
Oh, Chandan. We were just talking about you, Chandan. being our.
But only good things. Only good things. Don't
things.
listen to any rumors to the contrary.
And also, Chandan, in case you missed it earlier, we said congratulations to Bengaluru RCB for their cricket win championship.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway, lots of great folks that you're meeting and seeing. Are you seeing a lot of familiar faces as well, or just some folks that maybe they weren't going to? Just some new faces. Or
well, I mean, we just opened up signups to Prism last week, or not 2 weeks ago, Accelerate New York. So it's really good to see some of those familiar same faces there. It's just because it's a process to get people to use a new tool. So that helps a lot. And then there's also a lot of new companies here. There's actually several companies that are waiting for us to give them our web scraper API keys. So everyone wants to try that. There's actually quite a few companies that are really excited about the web scraper API. So that's awesome, which we knew would happen because anyone who's building anything with AI needs real-time data, everybody. So it's just cool to kind of validate that. So we're going to give out more private keys to people to just test it out, and that was awesome. So but I did see quite a few people because the past 3 months were kind of back-to-back events. This one is quite different. It's kind of far from the US. And so sometimes when you're in the US and going to events in the US, you are a little bit bubble there because face it, like most of the crypto like the majority of all crypto is still in Asia, in Vietnam, China, especially Korea, Japan. Like a lot of the transactions, just the volume, just the sheer volume of transactions are still in Asia. It's a lot of movers and shakers here, and it's a totally different world. So you really have to be here to make those connections. So that's really good. That's awesome. So
is there are there like I don't know, new projects that you haven't heard of yet that are focusing in Asia, and anything new, exciting new that
I didn't see anything new. I think I saw some of the main projects, but some better than others about knowing how to embrace it, or like go to market strategy in a different countries.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell some people are better than others, or more savvy, or doing it right. They have people on the ground floor making friends, making connections. Those folks are doing it right, I would say.
Yeah.
You really have to be here and talk to people, and every culture is different. So you can't just hire that away. It helps to just be here and do it yourself first.
Let's have ambassadors like Chandan and Will. Yeah. You learn the nuance of how to speak to each people in each region.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it. So I don't see anything new.
Just different ways of approaching or communicating it. Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, okay, so you're on panel next tomorrow. Do you know if that's going to be live streamed, or we will, folks? We will definitely.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Probably it will definitely be on our X. So UpRock on X. But if it's live streamed, we'll try to share that. But probably not. Right? It will be recorded and we can put it up later. Yeah. So what's the topic for the panel?
Actually, topic like pretty much what we talk about all the time. That deepen is data is the new oil, and deepen is the like I said, deepen is the fire hose. The deepen actually is what is the decentralized data engine, and it produces a lot of data in a more efficient way because the whole world and community can actually participate. Instead of one company going around buying millions of devices, the community already has one, and they actually participate in this network. And then how do you turn all that fire hose of data into actual goals, something useful? And so that's what the whole talk's about.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be in great company. Well, we've got GeoNet, WingBits, Onakoi, UpRock, and Best Swap. So it's going to be a great great panel, folks. So tune in. That is tomorrow. Well, if you are in Vietnam, if you're at the show, tune in tomorrow. So that's going to be real world data. That is hard to say. real world data is the new oil, and DPIN is the pipeline.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're not in Vietnam, once they have the video up, we will post it up and you can watch it there.
That's right.
All right. Great. Well, Jess, I mean, you got, I'm sure you get some good food there too.
Yep. Yeah. I know.
that might be the part I'm most jealous about you getting to take this trip. I love Vietnam and I love Vietnamese food, especially in Vietnam. So
I honestly don't have much
it.
options up here in Seattle. It's just like pho and vermicelli bowls. And I hope you have deviated from that quite a bit while you're there and had something else.
Yeah. You know what's funny? When I go to these shows and the food's good, what I really want to do is load up 3 plates and just eat. But I'm there for a reason. So I just take a couple of bites and and be cool about it. And be cool about it. Where I really just want to stuff my face and talk to people. But I take it a little bit and be cool.
Yeah.
But the food's here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well. Okay. Well. Okay. I don't want to keep you too late. So we have a few more slides to go before we'll tune in, and so we'll wrap up so you can hit the hay.
Yeah. All good. But yeah, we have some product updates, so let's go through that, and then
we'll go through some product updates. But real quick, we have a partnership that we're sharing. So UpRock and Rome. Before let me just do a quick intro to Rome. Rome is a DPIN open source wireless network. It using open roaming and eSIM technology, and for free, secure, seamless DPIN. And we have we're one of their initial partners for 7 new partners into their Rome Discovery ecosystem. Jesse, can you share more on what that means?
Well, one thing is awesome about the Web3 way of doing things is you do a lot more collaborations, to marketing, joint things like live spaces, live streams. A lot of our audiences overlap, our communities overlap, and so what's awesome about all this stuff is like traditional Web 2 model. Maybe you just pay for ads all day long, and Web 3 it's like content marketing, founder-led marketing, community-based marketing. And so what that means is like we really are helping promote each other, giving each other links, doing actual content together, live spaces, because their community will love to know about UpRock. Our community might want to know about Rome. And so this is just a more organic way of doing things. It's the best way to grow the community, really. It's awesome. And so you solidify these things, and it's like a lot of times it's just a good handshake, but take it further than that is like, let's see what we can do to use these other technologies as well, because we are building a similar complementing products on mobile specifically. They do mobile, we do mobile. And so we're exploring that, but it's just like a good way to get things going with these companies. So so we'll take it from there. We're doing some online stuff together, but there's actually some ways we can actually use some of our tech on each side and just grow our business together. So that's the spirit of the deal.
I'm super excited for this. I'm super excited. I really want to do a deep integration with them. I said these two here on the call with me can attest. I have been banging on about eSIMs for at least 5 years at this point. So I'm super excited about this. I love what Rome does. I'm super glad we're starting something with them, but I really, I've been taking a look at exactly how it works, and I really want to do a much deeper integration with them. I think it's the perfect partnership. Dare I say it, redemption opportunities, UpRock for Rome,
that would be fantastic.
like that. I think it's perfect. So just to be clear, everybody who's listening right now, it's not coming this week. It's not coming next week. We got some engineering challenges to sort out in order to make this happen. But this is the perfect, because I've actually always thought that eSIMs are a really great opportunity to tie into the UpRock ecosystem. And so having somebody who's Web3 native just makes this so much easier and so much more seamless for all of our user base. So I'm super excited. Definitely want to see this roll out a lot broader.
Yeah. I'm very happy to have Rome. So guys, if you don't follow Rome already, head over to X. It's We Rome XYZ. Let's put the link up here. There we go. We Rome XYZ. Give them a follow on X. Go check them out. I think you'll like what you see. I can already see some folks in the comments Spaceman, Rome. There we go. Hey, super excited about that. And more this kind of stuff coming, down the pipeline as well. And I mean, like you said, Jess, just a minute ago, this is like the best way to build community. This is the best way to like get your product out there. It's like building community. And just to hark back on what I was saying earlier, we're onboarding over 10,000 new users every week without any ad spend. And this things like this, doing real community work, a lot of community work. We first share, bringing new faces, have our ambassadors, our ambassadors doing all this wonderful stuff. Doing this live stream every week where we're giving you guys our weekly stand up about what we're working on, our progress for the team, and things like this, working with Rome, or, doing some, promotion, cross promotion with Rome, things like this. It's a much more collaborative environment than it used to be.
Yeah.
So that's how that happens. And very exciting. You get to meet really great projects. Rome being one of them.
Yeah, and we, yeah, exactly. And then referral programs help because word of mouth. I mean, literally, it's like an extension of word of mouth, because we're not doing this unless we like each other's products, and people don't use our referral program if they don't like UpRock product. Like at the end of the day, the product has to be good too. But this is a better way of doing it, because it's really organic, and you're also working with like-minded companies that are also building cool stuff, and people want to be interested in, and we're building things, we're solving like big problems, and people are really excited about that. And in the Web3 space, you're not just buying someone's product or installing their app. You also have some skin in the game. A lot of our community actually owns our token, right? Because they're earning it. So it's a totally different way of thinking about how to build a company. When they buy your cup of coffee, you actually own a Starbucks stock, essentially, kind of like that. You think of it that way, So it's this totally different mindset, and you have to think that this is why communication is so much more important, and why the organic way is way more important, because you can't just buy your way to the top with this. You have to have a great product, but also do a lot of community building, because at the end of the day, community has skin in the game. They're earning your product, they're buying into it, they're spending time with us all the time, and the same with Rome's team too. And this is why it's awesome, So
yeah. Well, and going to these shows and meeting all these great projects, and ambassadors will be helping us with that as well. And Christopher, you need to be doing some more traveling too, now that you are in Europe.
Well, I mean, you were asking about upcoming country weeks, and I was going to point out we know at least one the week after next, where I'll be at a conference. So I haven't assumed we're going to. We'll save that for a week or two. But yeah,
there you go.
But yeah, so we're absolutely getting out there, and Rome. And like I said, I'm going to really since we started discussing this, I've actually, like I said, been genuinely, like Jesse said, we use different products different ways, and some of our partners are less personally relevant to me. Rome is super personally relevant, so I've been digging into it deeply. But really, pretty much everything we do, it's like one of us on the team is like, oh, I like this, or sometimes we see it, we didn't even know about it. As soon as we try it, we're like, oh, this is awesome, and then we reach out to them. We had just on a team call the other day talking about somebody that somebody knew, and like, and I love their whole shtick and this and that. And we're like, let's reach out to them. It says, like, if you like it and you're a customer, why not? So, absolutely. And
all right, so we'll have
in public.
We'll have an update soon, but where you're going to be, and we can share that soon.
Yep.
Cool.
That's very exciting. It's good to see you at these shows, Chris. Like you were just in New York. That was great. So, Chris was Jesse is now our world traveler. But it used to be Chris for like many, many years.
I was looking at those list of flags, and I was like, we're going down a list of places that I've all been to before. But then I realized, Jesse, you and I are going to have to get some beer or some baijiu and really dig hard, because I think you might have more flags than I do now. Not that I'm keeping count. Well, neither one of us is probably going back to where baijiu comes from anytime soon. But as
Yeah.
Well, we could go to Macau. There you go. Go to Macau or Hong Kong.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. Actually, I've never been to Macau, but I hear it's great. All right. Well, let's go. Let's move on to what do we got next? Let's do some product updates, shall we?
I am so excited about product updates.
Oh, which product do you want to start with? You want to start with Prism, or do you?
I mean, that's the order we've been doing things in. So absolutely, let's start with Prism. Okay. So first of all, first big update for Prism. We have been doing a ton of work. We've listened to a lot of the feedback about the UI. Some changes are live already. More are coming within the next few days. The part I'm most excited about, we've listened to what you've said about the heat maps and about the coloring. So one of the pieces of feedback we've had, we've shown off before the world map showing all of the different locations and how fast they are and so on and so forth. And one of the big pieces of feedback we had is, hey, are they all the same color? And we said, no, they're not all the same color. There's like, we're coloring different pings based on how fast they were. And people went, they all look like the same color. Mm-hmm. So we went back and we revisited that. And we really thought about, is it really clear when you look at the map what's fast and what's not? Is it really clear how fast different regions are, or the ability to easily see that kind of a breakdown? So the other two on this call came up with some great designs. We have them running in staging. They should be going to prod within a couple days, and I think you're going to like them. It's much more of a traditional kind of red-green color scheme where you can see, green mean fast, red mean slow, but it also is coloring in regions more completely, which I think makes it a lot visually easier to see. So it's one of those things where sometimes when you're building visual stuff, and it can be hard, when I'm sitting here talking to the two of them, you have them explain their UI design for you, and you're like, that makes perfect sense. I see it. And then you do see it because you helped build it and you're right there. And then you hear back from somebody and they're like, why don't you just make it red and green? And somebody said this to Jesse and I in New York, and we were like, yeah, we totally thought about that. And we had a good reason for not doing it. Shh, don't tell them. Jesse, we should make it red and green. So anyway, so that's coming soon. It's a huge improvement. I think from an operational standpoint, like using Prism as an operational tool, it makes it a lot easier to just get that simple, quick one view that you're often looking for. The other Prism product I wanted to talk about this week for a minute is the crawler. As I've alluded to earlier in this call, we've been using it internally a little bit already. We have the crawler deployed to several of our data centers, the current production version deployed to several of our data centers. And I thought, since we do our stand-ups in public, that's what we say, this is our weekly stand-ups in public, I was going to tell a quick little story about a super interesting bug we ran into, which actually caused us to pause rollout. So we didn't go to any more data centers for a few days. So we've done extensive testing with this and in our staging environment and everything else, and everything looked great. And then we deployed it to a couple production data centers, and everything looked great. And we were running some test crawls and super happy about all of this. And I just went to change a couple things. I actually, I think what really prompted this was just one of the dashboards. I didn't love the way it looked and I wanted to redeploy it. And I noticed I just hit upgrade on this cluster and it's stuck. Why isn't it upgrading? And I went and looked, and the actual binaries had been Docker containers, but the binaries had been upgraded, and the old ones just weren't stopping, and they just weren't stopping. I'm like, what is going on? We have tests for all the shutdown code and this and that. And then as we eventually dug into it, I won't keep everyone in suspense too long, but essentially we were trying to make sure that when a particular node went down, any devices that were connected to it had a little grace period to finish submitting what they were working on before they got redirected to another node, so that we could do an easy rolling deploy. Those of you in DevOps or IT will know exactly what I'm talking about. But essentially the idea is you don't close all the, imagine you're at a train station. You don't close all the ticket windows at once. You close one, you wait until the line goes away, and then you change the person, then you close the next one. Same idea. Anyway, the requests were coming in so fast from the clients that it was constantly resetting this window. So we had this little window of a couple seconds where okay, we'll process all the requests that come in, and then we'll stop accepting new requests, and then we'll keep on going. Anyway, they were just coming in so fast that we never hit that window. So it actually would never it would never upgrade to the new version. We had to go manually kick a couple of the servers to get them up on a new version, and had to completely rethink how we did that. But that was one of those super interesting, whoops, we made a mistake, because in testing we submitted a lot of connections, but I guess not in exactly the same chaotic order that we were getting in production. And so yeah, they just hung when we upgraded them. Anyway, so that's our stand up in public. So we fixed that problem. We've continued the rollout of crawler to more places. Coming soon will be a self-service crawler sign up. But in the meantime, if you want an API key, please reach out to us. And then I guess we have some client updates as well. Am I doing those? Are you guys doing those?
Yeah, but before you do,
Well,
let me
by the way, on the Prism thing, also we I think what you mentioned is good, because when you have a DePIN network of millions versus like 20 servers versus a million device smartphones, we have to convey, whether it's a heat map or even the emails you get when something's up or down, we have to convey that this is not just a monitor, it's a smart observer. It's a more intelligent way of actually telling you what's happening with your digital infrastructure. So everything, how we communicate that, whether it's just like at a glance, you need to just kind of get at a picture of what's happening. It needs to show that this is a smarter way of actually getting a lot of information in a couple seconds. And whether it's a phrase or a heat map or whatever. And then if you want to drill down, you should be able to drill down and really find the details. And so this is why it's really important. Because in the past, how it is to actually with every other company, with even like Uptime, they'll literally just say when they send you an email, your site is up, your site is down. We can do better than that, and we will do better than that. It should actually say a little more nuanced answers, because it's a little more dynamic. It's actually like, again, we have a lot more data. It can tell you it's down in what area. Maybe it's just slow in this region. So just to get an email that says it's down is not very useful. It's because that's actually probably not accurate. And there's blind spots in the traditional way with this cloud-based, community-based. There is no blind spots. We can tell you like actually what's happening in every major country and city. So we need to be able to communicate that in the emails you get, in the heat map, in just like the status page, and then when you actually drill down. Another thing so as far as alerts go, we also integrated with Slack. We have webhooks and we have PagerDuty. A lot of developers use PagerDuty as an integration to get SMS, so they can get notified on their phone when something goes down. So that actually got fulfilled or knocked out this week, which is pretty cool.
I'm going to disagree with you there for a moment. A lot of developers are big fans of PagerDuty because it makes the downtime somebody on the ops team problem. So the developer doesn't get called.
Yeah. Someone else gets wake up in the middle of the morning. Yeah. I put your phone number, not mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone pages you, Yeah, that's funny.
Poor Ridvan.
Yeah.
It's Ridvan, by the way.
Ridvan, wake up. Shit's on fire. Yeah. So all those, those are all critical customer touch points, whether it's an email you get, SMS, or you just check out your live public status page. All those places, we need to do a really good job of conveying the power of a community-powered DePIN network and give you more nuanced answers of what's happening to your website or your API or just your digital infrastructure, essentially. And so we're going to get better and better and better at that. And the more we show demos at all these shows, when someone says, when someone has any confusion on what's the heat, how is this heat map telling me? What is this telling me? Those are really good responses, because then we know, okay, we need to tweak this, because it really should actually tell you at a glance, like, hey, yeah, you're kind of slow in this area, or you're down in this area. You should intuitively click on that area, and then actually gives you more details. Like, those are really good, useful feedback. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you haven't already signed up, sign-ups are live. So head over to prism.uprock.com to sign up.
Yep.
And check it out for yourself.
Jesse, I know you've read this book, but God, it's like 30 years old now, maybe older, which is a super scary thought. But anyway, that guy, Edward Tufte, who was like a professor at MIT, I think, wrote several wonderful books, probably the best known of which is called Envisioning Information. And he wrote that, like, I want to say in the 90s, at a time when the amount of data that the internet was producing was tiny compared to what it is now. But his big point was, like, we have to rethink how we display visual information, because we're displaying, there was a lot of other points to that, but like, we're displaying so much information, we're presenting so much information. And if we just cram more on the screen, it's not only not better, it's worse. What we need to do is find really good visual ways of conveying this information. And so that's something we're really working on with Prism, is making it really easy to just look and understand.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We got a pretty good comment here. Hey, love the Uptime platform. Last call. Hey, love the Uptime platform from the last call. Thinking of building a DePIN referral system. Any APIs available? Question mark, I guess. Also, is the grant program still active? Yes, always is. Just joined. Sorry. All good. Yeah. So we do have The web scraper API is, like I said, it's not self-service yet. So if you're interested in trying it out, we'd love to hear from you. Just email us or DM us on X.
But the Uptime product is self-service. You can sign up right now.
Yeah, totally free right now. We don't let people try it. There's a pro version's coming soon, but right now, try it out, test it out. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, and as far as the grant program goes, you guys, you guys will see. We do periodically have like a grant push where we'll actually talk about it and we'll put out like specific ideas we're looking for, whether that's marketing related or tech related or so on. But in general, if you visit the site and you go to the GitHub page and stuff like that, the grant program is always ongoing. So if you have a great idea, even if it's not something that fits in one of our like specific thematic pushes or a specific thing we've talked about that week, absolutely write up a grant proposal and put it in. So the grant program is definitely up there. We try to kind of help seed ideas by talking about like, we'll discuss like, hey, what's the big picture we want? We'll come up with a theme and we'll put together like a specific grant around that theme and we'll really try to push it. But if you have a great idea, please put in a grant anytime. So it's definitely always up there and we always are considering submissions that come in.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Love to see things that different ideas, different perspectives, different problems to solve. Sometimes things that we didn't even think about existed, problems that existed. So absolutely do that. If you
go to prism.uprock.com, there you would we just updated the site with a little more details, but those are the 3 areas where we're most interested in for any grants. There's, like I said, anything with uptime, it's just intelligent uptime monitoring essentially. And then web scraper is real-time web data. And then the third is performance testing or stress testing of your site or your API. Can it handle a lot of traffic? Can it handle if you get attacked? Things like this. And if you think about it, the broad and umbrella for all those things, what the DeepIn network of UpRock really is unlocking, we internally call it knowledge abstraction layer, but it's really another way to put it is like a real-time web intelligence network, a data network. Because this is what is key. It's like I said earlier, there's so much data, so much real-time data is happening all the time. And how do you make use of all that data? And how do you actually find it and crawl it? And so when we're all going to have some online business, you want to be able to have some just intelligent insights to make decisions, and you want those insights with the help of AI to make sense of all that crazy data. And so Prism is really it's a knowledge abstraction layer. It's like figuring out what's happening online, monitoring it, observability, monitoring it, extracting it, scraping it, and then doing something useful with it. And in a human first way. So the community actually earns a rev share when they do this, compared to the Web 2 way where just one company owns it all. In the Web 3 way, the community actually eats and earns tokens for helping build a better version of the internet, which I love. So yeah, we miss Chris with the hat and cigar. Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, I am coming again soon.
More importantly, we miss the
more importantly, right? Yeah, the DeepIn way means I wear a hat and smoke a cigar. Coming again soon. I miss smoking a cigar on the live streams. Unfortunately, the problem is now that I'm in Eastern Europe,
flammable material behind you.
Well, it's dark outside, and I tried this a little bit, and man, the light is just not good out there. So I'm working on putting together a setup where I can get this done. But it didn't quite get it done this week. Knock on wood. Hopefully next week. This isn't interesting, but we travel a lot. But let me tell you, sir, have you ever been to a home improvement store in a country where you don't really speak the language that well? It is and where all of the units of measurement are different. So I'll walk on in there. I don't have a hat even near me. I walk on in there in my hat, and I'm like, well, hey there, I need a couple of 2x4s and, like a 60-watt light bulb and like, I don't know, maybe a 10-amp circuit breaker. And first of all, they don't understand any of that. But secondly, even if they did, they'd let me know that there is no such thing as a 2x4. 60 watts is 60 watts. So why the hell am I looking so expectantly? And a 10-amp circuit breaker is a shit ton of power because it's twice as much voltage. So it's like a project to get a little.
Do you get all American on them and say something like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm measuring freedom units"?
No, because I'm not a big fan of getting my ass beat in public.
I could.
So yeah, no, I don't do that. No, it's actually it's way worse than the joke I'm making. Because what I really do is I'm like, I've been doing my Duolingo. My Romanian is totally up to the task. And then I try to speak Romanian. And after like 5 minutes, the guy at the hardware store is like, can we just talk in English now?
It'd be so much easier for both of us.
Please, just English. We'll do that.
I appreciate the effort, but I gotta get back. I
got stuff to do. We'll just speak in English.
Yeah.
So no, I gotta finish the setup. I can't even blame anybody, but I'm gonna blame the release cycle. That's what I'm gonna do.
There you go.
If I didn't have the release cycle to do, I could spend more time putting together the new streaming setup.
You asked. Be careful about asking Jesse to like, hey, can you just order me some a ring light, because I did, and I got a massive studio setup, and I don't have any space. Like there's like 4 like big floodlights. I have only one little thing set up. I thought I was going to get a little ring light. No, so you'll get a whole studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, remind me not to tell you my address.
He's extra.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we wrap it up, guys, did you say, Christopher, you wanted some client updates?
Yeah, you do the client updates. I've been talking for a while. Or Jesse?
Oh, I don't know what's what.
I got it. So one is we have a few more offer partners. So now that games are available on iOS, we've been that kind of was a roadblock for a few partners that have some really great deals where you can earn a ton of UPT, like really awesome amounts in different countries
more in different countries. That's the best part. It's like we've listened to a lot of you about the offers. Was like, okay, well, I've seen some screenshots. The offers are great in the US, but like
I don't see any of them. Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot more great offers.
Exactly. People were like, hey, I don't see anything for me in this country. So we really need to bring on more. So the fact that unblocked on iOS is good. We're bringing more on Android, and then of course we're going to bring them on web too. But they're primarily mobile stuff. So we spend most of our time just working on the clients on mobile. So that's happening. That's awesome.
Just real quick. So yeah, folks, if you last week is when we got games out on iOS. So we have a week now of iOS users. So if you missed last week's call, or if you haven't opened the app since, which you really should, and if you don't, then put on the notifications so you get reminded to on your iPhone. But you will see that there are games there now. Exactly.
Yep. What else? I think we fixed a couple bugs from the Rocketeers. Did some work for DATS. Everyone knows DATS is still in progress. Quick update on that. It's like having a contract with a telecom company. They take forever, but it's cybersecurity, so we have to take our time with it. That is still going. So we make client updates for that, which is great. But the main thing is that, and then I'd say you guys aren't going to see it yet in the client, but we mentioned a few times we're doing this program called a Rocket Booster program.
Oh, we're talking about Rocket Booster? Okay.
Yeah, where you can have a direct impact on your earn rate, because the number one request that we all have all the time is, hey, I've had UpRock installed for a few months, or some folks like a year, and like I can never do anything about this earn rate. How do I do it? Do I need a better device? The internet? It's like super frustrating. So we're just going to make that such a better experience. So it's not just a cosmetic update. It's a really like a serious way of how we're going to make this earn program better, and also how you can directly impact it with other actions, because passive or active. So it's a big deal. I think it's going to help the UpRock community. It's going to be a pretty decent UI update, but again, it's not just making it prettier. It's really functional changes.
It's not a UI update. It's a whole experience update.
It's a better customer satisfaction. You really feel more empowered, and you really feel like you know what you're. Like I said, we're trying to reduce all the frustration people have, especially people who have been with us since the beginning, where you really feel like, hey, I've been around for a while. I feel like I can never impact the earn rate. It's like, that's not cool. We want you to not feel that way. So So we're gonna work on that. I'm really excited to show you guys soon. So I just want to bring that up because it's like top of mind all the time. It's like what we work on the clients every week. We're just really want to get that right.
So folks, this is also for me, because every day it's just, he's like, Rocket Booster. I make things harder for myself because I do everything in high fidelity. I don't do I don't do wireframes or mock-ups like that. I don't do low fidelity. I do high fidelity because I like to see the full thing. But Rocket Booster is really cool. Like Jesse said, it touches everything. Whether or not we release all of it at once is a different story, but it's an idea. We will show what the plan is here. So like everything to encourage you to come back, encourage it, reward engagement, everything to help increase that boost rate. Great.
We're listening
for you, you know? And even participating in the great deals, the rewards that we're finding, things like that can like help. The idea is that this will help you boost your earn rate.
Yeah. We really listen to it, all the feedback we get, and we want to do it with good taste too. So we don't want to half-ass it or do it too quick. I mean, we like to move fast, but we want to show some good taste here, but also like we're really been paying attention to a lot of the feedback we've been getting. So this we're excited. We're really excited about it. I hope you guys like it too. We're gonna start releasing that next week. So I just want to give that update because that is what we're cooking right now. Yeah, for the apps. Okay.
Yep. Rocket Booster. A lot of great stuff. Okay, guys, we are over 5 minutes. We did better.
All right.
I feel like whenever I say we're at an hour, we did a great job, then we end up chatting for another 15.
I don't think there's ever really it's good to keep it to an hour though. But
No. Well, I mean, the way it works is if one of us is like watching the clock because we have to run to an airport for a flight, then the call goes on and on and on. And if we're all somewhere comfortable, then at 40 minutes we're like, well, what do you
we like the urgency.
That's the way it works.
Yeah, urgency is good.
Oh, you know what? I would actually like to get everyone's opinion on like the structure of this. So like, if you're tuning in every week, the basic structure. But maybe, should we do segments like more structured with this? Like, here's a news segment, and it's not just about us, but it's just like AI DPIN news. And then obviously product updates is always going to be there. It's a very important one. But I'd like to hear for folks who are tuning in, how can we make this whole stream better? Besides just sound effects and like changing the layout or anything. Do you have any ideas on structure or things that you'd like us to talk about every week or every other week?
Yeah.
Thank God the sound effects got lost. I mean,
when are we gonna update the I have a feeling because half of our community might not know about some of the crypto stuff. That we could probably spend more time on the earn and the reward program, how you can save money, make money, that kind of stuff, which I think that could be interesting. A couple questions here. When are we going to update the referral program?
Before that, Sasha says you could do a segment to answer some of our questions because some get missed. And that is true. So we got Drew. We'll start right now.
Yeah, this is part of that Rocket Booster update we're doing because it directly impacts your earn rate. We don't really explain that very well in the process, in the whole app UI and all that, so that it touches all that. So it will come with that update as well.
This is the first we did a revamp of the referral program. And it didn't get implemented because it was there was other things in the pipeline before that. But since then, since we started working on Rocket Booster, we're like, okay, well, the referral program actually needs another refresher because these things that you do with the referral, that is another engagement, reward. That's also referral reward as well, obviously. But that's another way to boost your earn rate because we weren't considering the previous version of the referral program of how does that tie into your earn rate as well. Like now we have, we saw we had badges and things like that. But now we're like, there's other milestones or tasks that maybe we can do in the referral program and introduce that in there as well. So it's part of the Rocket Booster update.
Yeah. And by the way, like if you're so frustrated with the earn rate, you're less likely to share with your friends and family. So this is also how we think about that. Like we need to actually make you feel more empowered about the other way how the app is actually useful for you. Then the referral program will be even more exciting to do. And so it really helps each other. But if we got to make this, we got to actually directly address our most common questions we get and like how can I earn more? I mean, that's like bottom line. That's like common question we get, and we should be able to show that in a very fun way and make that valuable for you. And then everything else that you do should also impact that even more, and you'll be more likely to actually share it with your friends and family too, because it's actually helpful for you. So this is why we're thinking we really got to like make that the initial earn rate in the program how you can have an impact easier to understand, more exciting, and actually really just actually make more, like literally earn more. So yeah.
All right. Well, I also, Luke, you have a suggestion doing a QA session on the streams would be great. Like, just like Sasha said. So I think, maybe we can figure out how we can make that more of a permanent segment, because we try to answer some questions. We highlight the questions as they're coming in the chat of like, okay, we'll answer it when we're talking about this topic, but things get missed. But also maybe the topic that you have a question for never, didn't come up that week. So maybe we'll do like every week, like, hey, hit us up on Discord with your questions. If they don't get answered before the live stream, then we will do a QA session. And then as the stream is going, you can always ask questions in there, and then we'll try to get them. But if we do miss a question, which we sometimes do, please feel free to ask it again, because sometimes I try to go through the chat, and some weeks there's a lot of activity, and I do miss it, and I didn't get to highlight it before I had to before I lost track of it. So never feel embarrassed. Don't worry about it. You can always ask the same question multiple times.
We can do surveys in the app itself, and we can also get some questions through Discord. If everyone likes that, I mean, honestly, like, we love that. I mean, this is this is why we do the shows, and this is why we do this, and this is why we do the surveys in the app, because this is how we really pay attention to how to we have our vision, but there are and we have our destination we're going to get to, but there are asteroids in the way, and the community helps us avoid problems when they speak up. So we can move faster when we build together. So if you guys definitely speak up, don't be shy. If you want to do Q&A, just constantly just ask questions, because we try to do our best. But if you want to, if we see that more and more people want to do this, then we can get the questions in advance and then address them. That's really good at that too.
He is. There's some services where we can actually share a QR code, and then you can at the beginning of each stream, and then you can start putting your questions in there so they don't get lost in the chat, and then we can find them through that. And then also other people who are submitting questions can upvote, so you don't ask, maybe somebody already asked the question that you want answer to, so people can actually upvote a question, so then we also know what's the most pressing question. So we'll look into that. I've seen some solutions for that, so that would be fun. And that provider also does things like in-stream polls and surveys. So there's a lot of there's fun stuff out there.
Yep. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, Girk. Okay, so Girk will start a chat in the Discord for the lives. Thanks, Girk. That's awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
And then, speaking of one more question before we go, Luke asked a question. Is any feedback on the ambassador program highlighted on Super Team Earn?
Any feedback on the
feedback
on,
you mean like any updates?
Oh, any updates? Well, we do have 2 new ambassadors. If you mean updates, Will and Chandan from India and in France, respectively. But Sir Ross is really leading the ambassador, so he'll do one-on-one interviews with folks on the folks that are on his list. But as far as the latest update, do you guys have any? Do you know any of that from?
No, I think since we just launched it and we just picked our first 2 folks, obviously we want to have ambassadors in every country, because we are literally in every country, and eventually, we talked about this a few times, but we want to localize the client in some languages, especially on the mobile side, not the Prism maybe, but the first at least the client, because we see a lot of like the games. It's not even it's only in English, but a lot of our community in Korea plays the games. which is awesome. So
and the games themselves are already localized, and some of the surveys are already localized. So we've actually, in some ways, already got the offers.
From India. Yeah, exactly.
So we just need to localize the rest of the client to make it a seamless experience.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you are. Hopefully we. I'm not sure what you mean by any feedback, but if you are interested in being an ambassador, and that's what you're asking, like when will where we are with that. Like we said, Servos is doing he has his list, and he's doing his one-on-ones. We've just announced our first 2 ambassadors, so that's he's working through the list because like Jess and Chris just said, we want ambassadors all over the place.
Yep.
Okay, guys. I think we should probably call this
I think it's that time.
I think it's that time. Yeah. All right. So cool. Girk, the Rocketeers, thanks so much. Yeah, we'll put the questions in the QA chat. So we'll have a list of questions to go through. We'll figure something out. But thanks for brainstorming this with us. Live.
And like you said here, sometimes they come up during the stream, which actually makes it really interesting and keeps us on our toes. So you're always far away.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever I see one scroll by, I try to call it out and answer. I really try to make sure we don't end a stream without leaving questions hanging there. So,
yeah.
Even the tough ones. All right.
Okay, guys.
So I'll post more about our trip here. It's been so far so awesome. And I think I'll be on a panel on Saturday. Tomorrow we have another event. But we're working hard for you guys. So thanks for tuning in as always.
Yeah, thank you guys. Chris.
Your Thursday with us. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're a little muffled. I didn't hear you there.
No, thanks for spending your Thursday with us. We appreciate it very much.
We love you guys. Yes. All right, Jess, you take some. You go to sleep. Christopher, it's almost nighttime. It's nighttime for you too.
It's definitely nighttime.
Yeah. Daytime for me.
Appreciate you all.
We're not you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.